Hey out there, Chatbot land, Josh Rosenfeld here. Today I'm going to show you a build that I recently did to demonstrate what could be done by creating a buying bot. And what I mean by that is that it's going to replicate an online solution that currently works industry-wide, and I'm going to replicate it almost verbatim using a chatbot. And here we go. So on the left, you can see an example of what I am maybe trying to model of something that's successful. When people go to sell their large industrial engines and marine engines, these people like this buy them, and they need a way to help automate that process, scale that process, etc. Currently, it's done as you see it on the right with a simple form. With the addition of a photo that currently my chatbot does not do, but I'm working on ways to do that. But anyways, the task is to create some sort of flow like this using a chatbot. So what I decided to do was leverage a few existing technologies. One is my CRM lead storm, and as you can see here, it's a tool that allows me to do many different things. One thing is to automate chatbots. I'm using CloseBot as my ChatGPT front-end solution. It makes it far more powerful and far more easy to interact with, and makes a far better user experience, which is very important to me with chatbots. And I created a fictitious Facebook page to test the bot out in real time, so I can demo it to myself, my colleagues, and potential clients. So this is something anyone can do. You don't need a A2P approved phone number. You can make a Facebook page in 10 minutes using Canva to make the graphics if you want, which is what I did. Okay, so I'm duplicating this website here on the right. Okay, and this is what I created: a simple Facebook page that would advertise a number if they were to get a phone number, and the chatbot would respond via SMS, like a missed call text back. But it also has this message button, and that's what I'm doing here. So as you can see, I've been messaging this bot, and starts by asking me, hey, do you have a generator you want to sell? Yeah, I do. We buy generators. So I start talking to it, and it starts asking me questions. Similar questions to the form fields that you're going to see here. For instance, it starts asking, what's your name? Because it doesn't know your name. This is a cold incoming lead from Facebook. It may know the name actually, and I'm handling that with the workflow, and I'm going to show you, but pretend they don't know the name. So the bot's going to ask for that. If it knows it, it'll skip it. Then it's going to ask for what brand generator are you trying to sell? What category is it in? Is it marine, industrial? There's a few categories that this industry would know. And if not, the bot responds to them and gives them some examples, which I'll show you. It asks where's the generator, what condition it is, any additional information, and then it tries to book a 15-minute phone call. So as you can see, when this flow works well, it does all that an appointment setter or a phone answerer could do. And I've tested it over here. You can even test it yourself if you want, if you can see this up here, but it does work really well. It's a good demo. It's showing how CloseBot works and how GoHighLevel works with it. I'm using the LeadStorm variant of it right now, and it worked perfectly. It seems to, in my opinion, handle the majority of these fields here. And I'm going to show you how I did this in a second. Okay, so I will show you how I did this, not just what it does and some high-level stuff. So I seem to have replaced this flow here in CloseBot. Boom, right? I'm not doing the photo part, but I think I know how to do that. It's not for this demo. It's much more advanced. And it seems to work, and it books an appointment. So that seemed to me to be a great use case for a booking bot. It worked well. It integrates well. It works with the phone number. This phone number does not work, guys. So if you call it, if you can see it, if you call that number or text that number, it's not going to do anything. But the Facebook does work. And Facebook Messenger is nice because you can obviously run Facebook Messenger campaigns, and it's a great cost savings. So how did I make this bot that's hooked up to all this stuff? Okay, so I have a sub account in my LeadStorm CRM, just like you would have a sub account in your CRM. And I have a few fields that have, well, first of all, I'll back up. If you've never installed a CloseBot bot, it's pretty simple. I install a snapshot from CloseBot, and that snapshot has a few basic workflows in it that enables these two applications to interact with each other. And we're going to use it as is out of the box. I'm not going to add any extra triggers, or, I'm not going to look for keywords. I'm not going to get to it from form fields. This is out of the box, okay? Except for one step here, step 0. So CloseBot is looking for all these channels: WhatsApp, SMS, Instagram, Facebook, Google My Business, chat, and email. It goes through this whole complicated workflow here. Don't worry about that. And then we'll chat, as you can see over here on the right. So I've imported the snapshot, and in order to customize it for this particular use case, I need to get in these 4 or 5 fields as variables into my CRM. So what I do is, if you go to settings, to set up the CloseBot, you go to custom values real quick, and you add in a few basic things. I don't want to show this quickly because I'm doing some things here, but you fill out 3 custom values, and your bot will work. This is not, and the values come from your bot number, your app key ID, and then the name of your bot. Pretty simple. And let's see here. So settings, so custom fields. So we had talked about how this bot is custom. You can make a default bot in CloseBot, but you got to make it for you. You got to make it for the use case. In here, I want to make a buying bot, right? So how do I get these fields into my whole workflow? And the way I do it, again, I'm in my CRM. I'm in my custom fields this time, and this would be different for every single business that you're collecting information for based on what they need, right? I need these form fields here. So I already did this. This is already created, so I'll do it a little quicker, but I created a folder somewhere in here called BuyBot, so I can store all the variables you're going to see here in this folder. So as you may see here, I don't need the name and the email and all that stuff. Those are built into the CRM, but I do need what brand do you want? What is the category? Where is it? What condition is it? Any additional info, right? Just so you can see here on the right in their form. So essentially I'm duplicating this form in my CRM, and I'll show you each one individually. So category, how do I know which categories that may be right or wrong? I pre-populated this. There's another form that I've seen for the generators that has the examples of categories. So these are them. And I just pre-populated a drop-down menu field. Okay, this is the drop-down menu field, so they can only select one option in here. So then CloseBot will know, and I'll show you this, CloseBot will know what these are if people have a problem. Well, what are the categories? Or they enter a category, whatever, it will guide them to the right categories. This is how you do it, okay? So I'm going to close that. And then we have condition, and condition is also a drop-down type field. You can only do one option at a time. New, low hour sense new, rebuilt, good, used. These seem to be industry standard answers to that question. And then we have brand. So there's a lot of different brands, obviously. How can you know which brand is correct? Well, there's always, these are standard industrial sized brands. They don't buy backyard generators, portable tiny ones. They buy big, huge engines. These are the bigger brands, apparently. And then there's others. So it will handle well-known brands. It'll handle everything, really. That's why you want an AI chatbot. I have a condition field here, which is just a multi-line text form field. And I have the generator location, it's called just location. That's just a single line text field. They can enter an address wherever, California, it doesn't matter. I just need to know it. And that duplicates everything over here except the photos. That's a more complicated process. I'm not going to get into it. Okay, so I have this form duplicated in my CRM. Now in my bot, you'll see here that I've added a objective. The way CloseBot works is that, after you get your bot set up with your correct API numbers or codes for your OpenAI and your GoHighLevel connection, and you've given it basic instructions, You know, the instructions on this bot is simple. You pay cash for generators in any condition. More than likely, the lead is reaching out to you so they can sell their generator, and you're going to qualify them, then schedule them. So this is all the bot needs to know when you use CloseBot, which is why it's awesome. And the important business information is really simple, and who actually owns, you know, about who owns the business. And down here, how to respond is crucial too. Like if the lead name asks you a personal question, come up with a sincere response. Do not tell them you're a bot. You should act natural. I'm going to add in, do not discuss price, please. I like to talk nice to the bot. Let's save that. And finally, since a bot doesn't know anything about the real world unless you tell it about the real world, I've added some knowledge-based articles to my CloseBot account, and this enables me to link to text files, websites, and whatnot. So the bot is trained off of these documents. So that's why it kind of knows a bit about the business. If they ever ask, what's this business, who owns you, how do I know you can afford it, whatever question it may have, it'll stay on track as it knows the answer because it pre-learned it on it. It's pre-learned it. Okay, so we have this. After we have our main conversation parameters here, we're very simple. These are the objectives again: name, brand, category, and it's going to go in order from left to right and top to bottom. I think it may ask the questions in each column in a random order, but it definitely goes from left to right, which is awesome. It drives the conversation all the way to a booking. So it's going to ask their name. This is connected to the name field. All chatbots in CloseBot, if you connect it to a GoHighLevel sub-account, it pulls in the fields in there, including the custom fields that you've made, which you'll see, so that it knows how to, it's connected to it, so when the customer answers, it can put the response into that field. So that's how you can ask really cool questions that you wouldn't, that it would be hard for maybe a human to respond to all possible answers. And this figures it out and puts a decent summary and/or response into your CRM. So when you look later, you'll see how the customer responded to all points in this conversation. But I digress. There's some yes and no answers in here to help the bot determine what's a good answer, what's not a good answer, and how not to respond to, or how to respond to certain answers, or certain responses. So if someone says, the bot says, what's your name? And they say, why? The bot can say, well, it's much easier to chat if I had your name, don't you think? So gives it a response. The bot will know kind of what to say, but it doesn't pass it because I give it a low rating. This is more advanced, but if you're looking in the window, you're going to see this. But the most important part is I hook up the step, the subjective step name to the field name, okay? And I do the same thing with these new fields that I've created. These don't come out of the box with any account. You have to put these in there, and these are what are mimicking over here. I put in brand, and I say find out the brand of the generator. And then I have an extra question, I have an extra response. If they need help, you can read them the list of at brand. At brand is just it's the kind of the CloseBot terminology for a variable. And when I show you the webhook from the CRM to CloseBot, you'll notice this in there. That's a little bit more advanced. I'll get to that at the end. Okay, so I'm asking for the brand. I'm asking for the category. How would the lead categorize the item they're attempting to sell? The bot handles the question on its own. It comes up with something conversational. Okay, then I'm doing location. Ask the location of the equipment they're selling. Find out the condition of the item they're trying to sell. And then finally, additional info. Any additional info we need to know, and that maps to a additional info text field, multi-line text field, which I created in over here, additional info, like we talked about, okay? And you'll notice I turned on a retry limit of 2. If retry is off, that means it will potentially try again and again until that field is filled out, until that question's answered. If you put on a retry limit, it'll only ask it X number of times, X being the number you see here. So this will only ask, do you have any additional info? No. Are you sure? Yes. Okay, and then it's going to move on. And finally, the last step, booking. This hooks up to a calendar in my CRM, so everything is automated. It knows the right time slots that are open for a further conversation about this purchase, and it enables this conversation to be handed off to the salesperson. And you just have to link it up to the proper ID in your CRM in calendars, which you get by sharing. You want this, you need the permanent link, the last digits of the permanent link after this booking slash. Okay, so this is what this we need to paste into CloseBot to make the booking work, and it just works automatically. Make sure you tell it how long the appointment is. I like a 15-minute phone call. You can add in some extra prompts here. If they don't want to talk, send them a link or whatever. And that is how you set up the bot. Okay, so we're going to go back to, and that's it. That is the bot. It's just the prompting and the objectives, and it should do, and I know that it does, respond well. As you can see here, it's kind of small, guys, over here on the lower right. But the conversation works really well, and it follows along. Again, if you could find this site, you could try it yourself. So in my CRM, in order to make this work, like I mentioned, these are the steps that come out of the box with CloseBot, and they just work. I've added in a step. Don't worry about this first step 0. I've added in this step 0. This is an advanced feature where when the contact is created, if I know the name, phone, or email, or the phone or email, or the name or phone, all these iterations and permutations of the name, email, phone, it will skip asking that. So there is a way to make a bot skip an objective. So if I already know the name, it's going to skip it. And this is a pretty simple automation to put into place. It's just when the contact's created, if the first name is not empty or the email is not empty, so that's how it's doing the logic there. And then it just skips the objective. There's a goals accomplished field that's attached to every contact if you use CloseBot, that when you make and save a new bot, you'll notice that all of these objectives here have a matching field in CloseBot, in your CRM that has all these different names in here, and these come from CloseBot. CloseBot puts them into this custom field that it created when you installed the snapshot. Okay, and then when you go to the contact, just to show you how this kind of works, when you go to the contact, you can see down here under CloseBot, goals accomplished. See, look, location, condition, category, brand. Hey, what do you know? These are the form fields from over here. So the bot knows that I've asked these questions and they've been answered and checked off. So you can use this field to control the bot on a much more granular level, but that's for another presentation. So in summary, we created a out-of-the-box bot in the CRM that is going to ask some questions to recreate a form, and we're going to connect it to a Facebook bot, and we're going to test it, and it works fantastically.